Hello guys and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the monster 3-team deal sending Erik Karlsson to the Pittsburgh Penguins and why I actually think the Montreal Canadiens are the biggest winners in this deal. Now I know what you're thinking, Erik Karlsson going from San Jose to Pittsburgh, the Montreal Canadiens being the third team involved, how the heck did they win this deal? Well, we're going to be dissecting every part of this trade, especially for the Montreal Canadiens because it is fantastic for them. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, watch till the end because we're going to be going through everything here. Now with the Erik Karlsson trade announced, of course, San Jose and Pittsburgh, we know we're talking. It was pretty much a confirmed deal that Pittsburgh and San Jose were working on Erik Karlsson trade basically over the last 2 months. I mean, we've been waiting days, weeks, months, and it finally happened. And you can see for San Jose and Pittsburgh what they both receive. For the Sharks, they get Mikael, Granlund, Rutta, Mike Hoffman, a 2024 first-round pick. They all, and Pittsburgh as well gets Erik Karlsson, Pitlick, Dylan Hamilton, and a 2026 third-round pick. Now, amid all of this was a third team, and that mystery third team is the Montreal Canadiens coming in and making this trade work. And it does kind of make sense now how long this trade came to actually become, because Montreal needed to come in, be the third team involved, get some salary back in their books, and make this trade a reality. I mean, for Pittsburgh and San Jose, it was a complicated, messy deal, but Montreal made it easy, not just made this deal happen, but got some amazing value for themselves. Now, when we go down to what the Montreal Canadiens got, they received Jeff Petry, 25% retained, goaltender Casey DeSmith, Nathan Legare, and a 2025 second-round pick. Now, you might be wondering, did they have to give up a pick to San Jose or Pittsburgh? No, Pittsburgh and San Jose swapped picks. So for Montreal, they got a net positive in picks, getting that second-round pick. Basically, by getting rid of Mike Hoffman and Pitlick, they acquired Petry, DeSmith, Legare, and a 2025 second-round pick to get rid of Mike Hoffman's contract and get picks back, get players back is incredible. If you guys don't know already, Mike Hoffman makes $4.5 million on the cap, and that was a contract that really kept him from being traded before. He had maybe some offensive value, but at that cap hit, nothing was going to happen unless Montreal retained heavy salary. But for a team like Montreal that is already pretty tight to the cap, to get rid of that contract completely is insane. For Pittsburgh, for San Jose, they also acquire Mikael, Granlund, and Rutta, so a lot of cap that is really quite overpaid, but they do get that first round pick. But again, for the Habs, getting rid of Hoffman, getting rid of Pitlick, you get a second Legare, Smith, and Petry in this deal. Petry most likely as well being flipped on top of potentially Jake Allen, so even more trades, maybe involving even more picks down the line this offseason. So as you can see, even though they add $887K with this trade, they're likely not going to keep that change for much longer. Petry will likely be dealt unless there's some big changes. I mean, he wanted to go out of Montreal when he was traded to Pittsburgh. Maybe that's changed, but I doubt it. So we likely see another Petry trade. We might also see again Allen traded there, so that's some more cap underway. But Casey DeSmith likely at this point is a better backup than Jake Allen and was actually pretty good in goals saved above expected last year. So if he's the backup to Samuel Montembeault, that's an improvement in net, and you could also get bigger assets and bigger picks from the Petry trade too. And I also like for the Habs getting that second round pick from Pittsburgh, although it was definitely not as good as San Jose's. It's not in 2024. Obviously, this next year, the Penguins are absolutely going for it. And even though I do think they'll decline eventually in a bigger way, I don't know if 2025 is the year they'll be in the dumpster, but it could still be a pretty solid second round pick. I mean, they missed the playoffs this last year. Maybe they make it back in 2024, but maybe they miss again in 2025, and that could be an extraordinarily valuable second round pick for Montreal, adding on to that pick cupboard and prospect cupboard that is already looking so good. So for the Habs, giving up Pitlick, who was playing in the AHL as well for a decent chunk last year and likely wasn't going to be a huge part of the future anyways, Mike Hoffman, who's 33 years old and was way past his prime for the Habs, to basically give up those two players, bring in some cap, just a little bit of cap, bringing in Jeff Petry and getting a solid backup. You get a second round pick, a prospect, and again, the picks that you'll get likely in a Petry deal and a Jake Allen deal. I mean, just the value, the pure value Montreal got here as a third team broker is incredible. Obviously, they made this trade happen, which is already amazing to see, but the value they got back for being a part of this deal, going right to the very end, is incredible. This is honestly one of the best deals Kent Hughes has ever made. I mean, he's made some pretty solid trades, but the value he got in this deal is incredible. And again, didn't even have to retain any salary on Mike Hoffman. $0 on that $4.5 million deal. And That's just incredible. I don't even know how he did that. Now, on the offhand chance that they do keep Jeff Petry, he could still be solid, but I think that defense is just too crowded right now for Petry to have much of a lane there, unless he's on the bottom pair perhaps. But to me, he's definitely going to be trade bait and still has a lot to give, and maybe a bottom pair veteran role. He could be perfect in that area. You also have Casey DeSmith, who's put up some pretty decent numbers last year, pretty good in goals he'd have expected, way better than Jari was. And I know a lot of Penguins fans don't really like him, but he's provided some good numbers, and I think in Montreal behind Montembeault could be a solid backup for them, at least better than Allen was last year for sure. Now onto the prospect Montreal acquired in Nathan Legare, Montreal-born player. I wouldn't expect too much here. Maybe he could become a fourth-line player for them. It could be interesting. Third rounder back in 2019, and he's progressed pretty slowly through the North American game. This last year in 68 AHL games, got 19 points. Maybe he's able to rebound in a big way with Laval, and maybe in his next season, maybe 2025, he could be like a fourth-line type guy for the Habs, or maybe a 13th forward, something like that. I can maybe see that, but again, I don't think he's going to be a player that is going to be one of the biggest parts of this trade for sure. Still though, to get potentially an NHL player, a second rounder, Petry, DeSmith, these are assets that are great for the Habs to have, and especially if they're able to trade Petry off for okay value, if they can get a couple of picks for him, and that's incredible. I mean, this is a trade that Montreal didn't have to be a part of. They didn't have to make this deal, but they got rid of Mike Hoffman, which already would have made it an amazing deal for the Habs. It would have made it amazing to get rid of that deal with no salary retention, and maybe have to give up Rem Pitlick in the process, which doesn't really suck since he's not much there at the NHL level. That would have already been amazing, but they get a second round pick, they get Petry, they get DeSmith, they get a prospect here that can do some work for them and provide future assets as well. But honestly, this is a deal that I love for all teams involved. Not maybe as much with San Jose, because only getting a first round pick and the players they got back is a little bit rough. I would have maybe wanted another prospect back if you're the Sharks, but still, they get a lot of that cap out, and that's the most important thing for them in the future, and they get a first round pick, so it's not the end of the world for them. Pittsburgh as well, getting Erik Karlsson is amazing, and I do like Rem Pitlick has some depth. Getting a third round pick is also nice, but getting rid of Granlund, Rutta, Petry, those massive deals, they save about $3 million in cap space too of this deal, which is incredible. So to me, all of these teams definitely come out well here, but to me, Montreal is in an amazing position now because of this. Gives them some better depth if they want to keep these players, but also for Montreal, so much more assets to trade. And getting rid of Hoffman, getting rid of Pitlick, it frees up some more space as well in that foregroup for players like Juraj Slafkovsky as well, so that opens up a little bit more for that youth, which is great to see too. In almost every single way, this is a humongous win for the Montreal Canadiens, a pretty good win for the Pittsburgh Penguins as well, and a decent win for the San Jose Sharks. We'll obviously see how it plays out. Of course, that second round pick is going to be huge. How that turns out is going to be great for them. But to me, Montreal came out gangbusters with this deal. An amazing trade by Kent Hughes, and it was worth all the hype. This Erik Karlsson trade, we've been waiting so long for it, and with how it was, I mean, it was deserved to take this long. Look how many assets, look how many parts were going in play, but it was just an amazing deal to see happen. Montreal as that third team, just spectacular. I hope we see more trades like that. Ken Hughes has been fantastic in that creativity department, and to me, he's shown exactly why with a deal like this. Let us know in the comments down below, though, with this huge Erik Karlsson trade, who do you think is the biggest winner? Is it Pittsburgh, San Jose? Is it the Montreal Canadiens? Do you guys agree with me? Let us know all your thoughts down below. Of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more breakdowns just like this. I was on vacation, or I am on vacation right now, and yesterday I couldn't make any videos, but today I wanted to put my thoughts on the Erik Karlsson deal, so I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, of course, make sure you share with all the hockey fans you guys know online, and click on this card for all my hockey trade content right in one playlist. My name is Nathan, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Goodbye.